Let's dissect and deeply explore the emotions of what is perhaps the most tragic and heavy story to date in One Piece, revolving around the life of Bartholomew Kuma through the events revealed in episode 1131. Brace yourselves, because this story truly carries immense weight, a tear-soaked childhood, and the genesis of tragedy. From the very first moments, we were thrust into a brutal reality. Kuma, after so many years of oppression, slavery, and being a plaything for the celestial dragons, seemed to have found a sliver of peace. But no, Kuma's life appeared destined to endure suffering, as a malevolent king once again set out to destroy his life and that of his family. The story takes us back in time, 47 years ago, to the Sorbet Kingdom in the South Blue, where Kuma was born. From that very moment, the special buccaneer blood flowing in his veins was a secret that needed to be concealed. But, as they say, the truth will always come out. Just 4 years later, when Kuma was still a young boy, the secret was exposed, and his entire family was captured by the world government. Kuma's father, despite begging to take all the blame, could not protect his wife and child. Kuma's mother, before being taken away, only had time to tell her son to live, no matter how difficult life became. And his father, the man who had instilled in Kuma the image of the warrior of liberation, Nika, the sun god who always smiled and brought freedom, was also brutally murdered right before the boy's eyes. The moment his father was dancing, telling him about Nika to encourage him, and then collapsed from a celestial dragon's bullet, truly tore at the viewers' hearts and undoubtedly etched an unhealable scar on Kuma's soul. From then on, little Kuma was turned into a slave laborer for the celestial dragons. Anytime he rested or cried, he was subjected to whippings, even threatened with being shot. It was during those hellish days that Kuma came to understand the depths of cruelty and injustice in this world. God Valley, the barbaric manhunt, and the fateful devil. Fruit tragedy followed tragedy as Kuma was taken to God Valley, an island not affiliated with the world government, where the celestial dragons organized a barbaric manhunt competition for their amusement. It's truly sickening how human lives were treated as mere sport. It is here we see the appearance of Garland Figureland, Shanks' father, a powerful figure among the celestial dragons. In his desperation, Kuma tried to escape, and fate led him to meet Ivankov and Ginny, who were also trying to survive. Together, they hatched a plan to steal the devil fruits being offered as prizes in the hunt, including the pawpaw fruit, Nikyu no Mi, and a mythical Zoan dragon-type fruit. The God Valley incident descended into utter chaos with the arrival of the legendary Rocks pirates, followed by the Roger pirates and Garp. Amidst this fierce battlefield, Kuma, in his struggle for survival, ate the pawpaw fruit. But even with this power, he could not escape the damning words of someone like Saturn, who declared that Kuma's fate was to be a slave and die in disgrace. This further twisted the knife in Kuma's pain, a man who always yearned for strength to save the weak, just like Nika. Sorbet Kingdom, a glimmer of hope and the silent burden after the God Valley incident, Kuma, Ivankov, and Ginny managed to escape. Ivankov soon departed, while Kuma and Ginny chose to stay in the Sorbet Kingdom. Here, Kuma became a pastor, using his pawpaw fruit ability to heal the sick and soothe the pain of the elderly and weak in the region. He was beloved by the people, who called him the Hand of God. But there was a heartbreaking truth that no one knew, except Ginny. Every week, after healing everyone, Kuma would silently absorb all the pain he had pushed out of their bodies into his own. It was a colossal orb of agony, something that could make anyone collapse. Kuma accepted this burden alone, just to see smiles on others' faces. This detail not only shows Kuma's extreme nobility, but also explains why Zoro, in his confrontation with Kuma at Thriller Bark, was willing to endure all of Luffy's pain. Perhaps Kuma saw a reflection of himself in that sacrifice. Ginny, witnessing Kuma's suffering, could only feel heartache and sorrow. Love, rejection, and the revolutionary dream as time passed. The feelings between Kuma and Ginny also began to blossom. Ginny, a strong and vivacious girl, proposed to Kuma. It was a beautiful moment, as if happiness had finally smiled upon them. But Kuma refused. The reason he gave is heart-wrenching for viewers. He was a buccaneer, and he didn't want Ginny to suffer the same tragic fate as his mother, who was killed just for marrying a buccaneer. Kuma feared that his love would bring misfortune to the woman he loved. This was yet another sacrifice, a sacrifice in love, showing that Kuma always put others before himself. Even though his life had its somber tones, Kuma always aspired to a noble ideal. He admired Dragon, the leader of the revolutionary army, and wished that one day he could set sail and dedicate his life to helping others, just like Nika, the warrior of liberation his father had told him about. The tyrant and the uprising at joy, as it often is, was short-lived. The new king of Sorbet, Bekori, a cruel and greedy man, enacted a new law allowing discrimination and turning the people in the southern part of the kingdom, where Kuma and the elderly lived, into slaves. To enrich the north, Kuma, with his kind nature and inability to stand idly by in the face of injustice, rose up against it. He used his strength to protect the vulnerable. This act led to him, Ginny, and their supporters being imprisoned. Joining the revolutionary army, a major turning point in their moment of despair, Dragon and Ivankov, along with the revolutionary army, perhaps then known as the Freedom Fighters, appeared, overthrowing King Bekori's tyranny and liberating the people of Sorbet. Witnessing Dragon's ideals and actions, Kuma and Ginny decided to join their ranks, dedicating themselves to the fight for a freer and more just world. An extremely important detail revealed here. Dragon was once a Marine. He left the organization because he could not find justice there. This is a colossal lore drop, opening up countless theories about Dragon's past and his relationships with Garp and the world government. The specter of separation and the unfulfilled promise time continued to pass, and Ginny became the commander of the Revolutionary Army's Eastern Forces. She remained cheerful, full of life, and completely devoted to Kuma. But then, a horrifying event occurred. Ginny was kidnapped by a mysterious enemy. Kuma, upon hearing the news, nearly collapsed. The pain of losing a loved one, the fear for Ginny's fate, once again tormented him. The video ends with a dramatic cliffhanger, revealing that in the next episode, we will see Kuma unleash his fury on an entire army to find Ginny. And after 2 years with no word, Ginny makes contact, but Kuma finds something he never expected. The title of the next episode, A Promise to Ginny, Kuma becomes a father. A detail that leaves everyone stunned and further heartbroken for Kuma's fate. Conclusion. This episode was truly a challenging emotional journey. Kuma's life is a long chain of tragedies, losses, and sacrifices. From a buccaneer boy yearning for freedom, to a slave, then a silent hero shouldering the pain of an entire nation, and finally, a revolutionary fighter battling for his ideals. Every decision, every action Kuma took was imbued with love and altruism. He deserved happiness, yet fate seemed far too cruel. The details about Kuma's past, about God Valley, about Dragon, have greatly enriched the world of One Piece. We understand more about the cruelty of the Celestial Dragons, the reasons for the Revolutionary Army's formation, and the people who chose to stand up against injustice. Kuma's story will undoubtedly draw many more tears from us, but through it, we also see the power of love, of sacrifice, and of the yearning for freedom. Let's wait and see what happens next, and hope that one day, Kuma will truly find peace.
If you enjoy this video, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell to the latest update from my channel. Thank you for watching till the end, and see you in the next video.